When I saw the art on this project, I got super excited. Once I had a look into the team, I got even more excited. Let's jump in and check out I Like You, You're Weird. Now this project deserves a lighting change. Okay, enough of this fun. So I Like You, You're Weird. It just, when I saw the art, it just kind of hit me and it resonated with me. It just looked super fun, super interesting. And when I actually jumped in and had a look at the team behind it, I just got super bullish. So when it comes down to the followers, they've got 12,000 sort of followers on Twitter, and they're followed by some heavy hitters in the space, which is good. The fact that we kind of got Popeye here, Bento, Ryan D, there are like Pastor, big shout out to Pastor. There's all these people that are following it that are actually kind of decent hitters in the space, which is good. Now, when it comes down to the team, we've got Mason Rothschild. Now, Mason is, he's the creator of Meta Birkins, and we'll touch on that shortly. But the fact is, this is his personal account. He's been on Twitter since 2009, 10,000 followers. This is his real account. Now, the next person up is Amber Park. Now, it may seem a little bit weird. It says January 2021. She's only just started. But if you actually have a look at Amber Park, this is her Instagram. Because she's an artist, this is where she lives on Instagram. And the thing about Amber is she's done some big stuff. You might kind of look at the art and be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, she's done some art. Now, what you'll actually notice here is that she was actually a director on a music video for Lil Yachty. She's actually done some crazy pieces for artists before, like music artists. She's actually done some of these things, and she's also done some of the visuals that go on for concerts and things like that. The thing about the artist is she's established, she's done art before, and this is where I got super exciting, because when I first had a look at the art, I was like, this looks very interesting. There's something unique about it. There's a different style about it, and it just resonated with me. I'm like, hey, this looks cool. And when it comes down to their Discord, we can see here that they've actually got some sneaks. There's some merch here. We'll touch on that shortly, and this actually kind of makes sense. But the idea with the sneaks, they're building a real kind of defined world when it comes down to I Like You, You're Weird. And what's crazy is that there are a lot of sneaks. Like, I'm scrolling and it just keeps going. They have been putting out this stuff immensely. They haven't just created 5 concept pieces and trying to run this up. Amber's pumping this out. She's working really hard on this art, and they're going really hard. And this is really good to see. I really like it. So there's these little bits initially that should keep you hooked and invested when it comes down to the rest of this video and where we'll kind of roll along. So when it comes down to the drop details of I Like You, You're Weird, they are launching this towards the end of February, and they haven't got a mint price just yet. So when it comes down to the team, I want to speak about Mason first. Now, Mason Rothschild, I've actually spoken to him on Discord and just kind of got an overview and more clarity on him as a person. So on his website, it's pretty kind of basic, but he's actually created an NFT collection before, Meta Birkins. Now, the thing about Meta Birkins is he actually ran into some issues when it came down to the trademark with Birkins when it comes down to Hermes. The fact is, Mason kind of created a series of NFTs called Meta Birkins, and you can kind of see a bit of a look here. And the fact is, we had Hermes come after him for creating this collection. And I think this is great because it's like the little man sticking up for kind of like all of us kind of creators and people in the space. It was almost like a middle finger to the corporate luxury fashion world. Now, when the other aspect when it comes down to Mason, he's also worked in luxury fashion before, and he's also created his own boutique. So he's got a boutique in LA when it comes down to sort of fashion aspects, things like that. Now, this makes perfect sense. So he's really deep when it comes down to fashion and that kind of culture in LA. He's also dabbled in NFTs before. Now, this is a really good, strong thing because on the roadmap says that they've got merch, but the fact is it goes Q1, I Like You, You're Weird, public mint. Then we've got the Weird merch drop 1. They're also going to be making an animated short film and a series like that. Then they're going to be doing some airdrops, and then they're going to be holding some parties in LA, but then also more merch. Now, the reason that this actually hits and it works is the fact that Mason's got a boutique and he's been in that space before, but he's also within the NFT space and he's created some stuff before. He knows how to navigate NFTs, and he also knows how to navigate the actual kind of sale of clothing itself. So when I kind of heard this from him and I had a bit of a dive into it, it made sense. I was like, okay, this ticks a box. It's not some people that have never sort of sold clothing or designed clothing before trying to get into that, but the fact that they're actually in that space trying to do it makes perfect sense. And then what I'll show you here is some of the ideas of some of the merch they're actually going to make. And that's the thing, it's not just a logo slapped onto a hoodie or a jacket or a jumper or a t-shirt. They've actually had some thought that goes into some of the designs themselves. Here is another look at some of the clothing that they're going to do. And this looks cool. It's got that Astro World type vibe. This is the kind of thing that I would actually want to wear. And this is what gets me excited about the project. It's not just the same kind of thing with a logo thrown on it. Some detail and some effort's gone into actually creating what the concept will be of the clothing. And the fact that Mason's actually done this before gives me confidence that when they execute this, it's actually going to be done in a tasteful manner, which makes me super hyped and excited. The long-term aspect and play of this is that I Like You, You're Weird turns into a brand that people that aren't into NFTs actually want to be in, and you're in on the ground floor of something that can actually pop off like that. Now, the next thing that I want to touch on, and we touched on it briefly before, is Amber Park. Now, Amber, she's a director, visual artist, but the thing is, she's always putting out really interesting stuff. She's created this design language and aesthetic when it comes down to I Like You, You're Weird. It really draws you into a world. She's a creator. That's what she does at her heart. She wants to make really interesting, fun things. This is just what she does. So the idea when it comes down to putting together this collection, she's done exciting things before. She's got an extended network before. This is the visuals that she's done that went onto the back of sort of music concerts and sort of performances. She knows people. She's well connected enough because she's in that space and she's mixing with them. The other aspect of this, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, is the fact that if she's heavily in this brand and this is the brand that she's working on and creating, she can inject this into her work. She's got these kind of one-on-one personal connections with these influential people, which then helps bring attention. It's not a bunch of DJs in the space and like, look, I'm a DJ and I'm not sort of talking down on DJs in the space, but it's not a DJ creating a project for other DJs. This is someone that is an artist at heart and actually has accomplished stuff and has a career as an artist that's able to create something that will have a spread beyond the NFT market. And that's how a project can grow. The reason that a project like Bored Ape is because people that don't know NFTs know what a Bored Ape is. And the idea that if I Like You, You're Weird can gain enough of a solid foundation, it can then work and bleed out of the NFT ecosystem into the world around it because Amber and Mason have connections outside of the NFT space, which then draw it in. Another thing that I wanted to touch on with I Like You, You're Weird, and I can't go too deep into it because it was off the record, which is some really good information. When Mason was talking, he's not talking about this as a sort of a short-term play or even even a mid-term play. This is a long-term play for him. They've set up some very strategic partnerships, some very strategic aspects that will come out after the launch and after the reveal, after the mint, and it'll kind of make sense because he even educated me on some of the NFT space. Bits and pieces that I was kind of interested and kind of curious about, and he had answers for me. The fact that I can speak to a founder and they can have information that even surprises me in how everything is connected, that's when I got really bullish because it shows that they're not just in it to run up this project and kind of like mint it out, they're in it to create this brand and create this ecosystem. So that's what got me really excited about this project. So with I Like You, You're Weird as a project, the way that I see this is a longer term hold. I don't think this is a short term flip. It might make some initial gains in the beginning, but I don't believe that this has the 10, 20, 30x type projects that you see. With this, I see this as a solid foundation that is built on and that kind of rewards its holders and kind of builds it up slowly. So this is a project that you should get into with the idea of holding this a little bit longer than the short-term game. So if your sort of method and mentality is shorter-term flips to kind of build up your capital, this may not be the project for you. But if you resonate with the art and you kind of like that idea and you like the idea of bleeding this NFT with the fashion culture, then this may be the move for you. Now, obviously, this is not financial advice. You need to do your own research when it comes down to projects that are like this and any other project that I speak about. But the idea with this is that's my opinion and perspective. I think this is a longer term play. I don't think this is a short term flip. The way that Mason and Amber are moving within the space and what they're doing, they're going to be leveraging their connections. They're going to be leveraging their notoriety to actually kind of build this brand out and build it up. And the artwork is very unique, it's distinct, it's different, and they've built their own world, which I think is really cool and really interesting. So overall, I hope you found value in this video. Hopefully this was like an insight into a project that you may have seen come up, maybe something that's not as big and as hyped. The reason I want to start bringing you projects like this is I want you to come across projects that may be easier to get in. These ones that are sleepers, these ones that don't have the 200,000-300,000 on Twitter, that are impossible to get onto the whitelist for, that are impossible to get into. This project is attainable, it's good, it's interesting, and I've asked the questions to the founders, and I've kind of done this research for you so you can then sort of accelerate your decision when it comes down to making purchases within the NFT space. If you found value in this video, please consider hitting up that subscribe button, or while you're down there, also hit up the like button. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.